Oh, that's a little bit old, that chart. That chart's a couple of months old, and if you want to really see something that's said, take a look at what happened.
In January 2016, in a small, discreet location somewhere in Mexico, the sun lay low as it cast golden light on a set of police officers as they escorted notorious drug kingpin Joaquin Guzman, El Chapo, the leader of the Sinaloa Cartel, into a police cruiser. He was extradited and found in Jupiter in 2017. In 2019, was found guilty of various charges, including drug trafficking and money laundering, and was sentenced to life in prison plus 30 years. However, someone can't just arrest one of the most notorious drug barons without consequence. Following the arrest of El Chapo, his gang would begin to target police and raise trouble. His arrest and gang was used as a political talking point for politicians like now President Donald Trump. President Trump was vocally against immigration and drug crimes. Often his speeches and politics would paint Mexicans and cartels as mindless villains who peddle drugs and kill people. This was a spit in the face of gangs like the Sinaloa Cartel. However, no gang is powerful if they don't have a leader, and without El Chapo, the gang looked like it was about to fall apart. However, El Chapo had several sons, and they would act to be his successor. Trump's stay in presidency resulted in many issues for the cartel. His tough-on-crime attitude resulted in him getting in the way of their operations, and more than that, his policies and orders resulted in horrific conditions for El Chapo and other gang members in prison. They loved their father and they had respect for their comrades, so despite their violent nature, they would punish Trump for his insolence. Chapo's sons, known as Los Chapitos, were lost without their father. Without his guiding hand, the operations of the gang were scattered, and this would seem to cast a long shadow over the cartel as Trump's administration began to push them into a corner. One of the brothers would be arrested in Trump's crusade against gangs. Ovidio Guzman Lopez was arrested on January 5, 2023. He would be used and called back in Trump's re-election campaign, and he would mock the Sinaloa Cartel, portraying them as cowardly gangs hiding behind money and violence. His speeches were peppered with fiery rhetoric, and this inspired many in the U.S. to demand harsher measures against the drug cartel and organized crime and cartels that would be a rallying cry for the people to make America safe again. Yet, as these words passed through the mouths of America, it would reach out past the border. However, this was an insult to the rest of the Chapitos. They would not stand to see their brother be arrested and put into a torturous and inhumane prison. They would not stand to see him being used as a talking point for a morally ambiguous politician to rile up voters. They would take revenge on Trump for the distress they had caused them. This wouldn't stand. They were planning something and they wouldn't even try to hide it. Their message had to be loud, clear, and devastating. No one would be allowed to make fun of their operations, not a stray policeman nor the U.S. president. The streets of Culiacán would begin to buzz with rumors of revenge. Currently, the gang is trying to assassinate Trump and cause chaos for the president. They have begun to make moves toward arming themselves with this goal. There have been reports of the cartel picking themselves back up and taking steps to obtain weapons and plots to kill the president. One of the best examples of this would be the instance of them smuggling in powerful surface-to-air missiles. On July 13, 2024, presidential candidate Donald Trump was campaigning for his election in Pennsylvania. The crowd was excited and inspired by his rousing speeches, they booming with excitement throughout the event. Many of them had shirts with his face or jokes and memes that they would share about his campaign, all in good fun. However, all of this would be interrupted by a loud bang. A sniper rifle had been fired at the president. The crowd went silent for a second, trying to process what happened. Had their candidate just been killed? However, Trump shows the audience that he was not only safe but enraged. He shot his fist into the air, calling out to the shooter, "Fight." On that day, Thomas Matthew Crooks, a 20-year-old man from Bethel Park, Pennsylvania, had attempted to kill the president. He was shot and killed by Secret Service personnel almost immediately. However, it still stands that his motives behind the assassination were unknown. What we can say is this: he was likely spurred to do it due to outside pressures. For example, it could be possible that the Sinaloa cartel pressured Thomas into the assassination. As it stands, this won't be the cartel's last attempts on the president's life. In conclusion, the complex web of politics, crime, and revenge continues to unfold in the shadow of El Chapo's legacy. The arrest and imprisonment of one of history's most infamous drug lords sent shockwaves through the criminal underworld, igniting a vendetta that transcends borders and ideology. With El Chapo's sons, Los Chapitos, vowing to avenge their father's humiliation and the ongoing impact of Donald Trump's policies, the conflict between the Sinaloa cartel and the U.S. political establishment has reached unprecedented tension. While the assassination attempt in Pennsylvania shocked the nation, it also served as a chilling reminder of the lengths to which such powerful organizations might go to reclaim their dominance and protect their honor. The true extent of the cartel's involvement in this incident remains uncertain, but what is clear is that the repercussions of this volatile relationship will continue to shape narratives of crime, justice, and leadership for years to come. As this story evolves, it underscores the dangerous interplay of power and retribution, leaving the world to grapple with the consequences of an unyielding cycle of violence and defiance.